Yeah, the original Escape from New York. Remember that movie? 1981, Kurt Russell, Snake Plissken. And it was kind of conceivable at the time based upon the status of New York City, turning the entire place into a penal colony. Yeah, you know what? I get it. But, times change. You get better leadership coming in. You had Giuliani come in, turn that place around. Bloomberg did the same thing. Guess what? You couldn't do it. A remake of Escape from New York in the 1990s. They actually had to do Escape from LA instead. Anyway, Escape from New York. I saw this story, and again, this was on Thursday. Some kid, gets stopped. He and his buddies trying to steal from a store in Times Square, and just starts shooting and hits a Brazilian tourist in the leg. Then, there's a shootout in Times Square. Guy was shooting at the police as he was running into the crowds. Thankfully, nobody else had gotten hit. Again, this is something that, quite honestly, it happens all the time now in New York. It's on a regular basis. The reality of the situation is you've got tons and tons and tons of migrants that are here. And hey, listen, this is not just migrants committing crimes. In this case, they were. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen if you decide to allow hundreds of thousands, million nationally, into this country? And in the case of New York, you make it very, very difficult for them to work. Now, again, it's Democrats pushing this whole sanctuary city and asylum stuff. Okay, that's all well and good. What are you planning on doing with these people until you're going to process their asylum claims, give them a working papers, whatever it may be? Up until that point in time, then what? How are they supposed to fend for themselves? It was actually an interesting story. It was a lady who opened up her own, in essence, lunch and dinner spot. She goes and she buys food, and then she makes it at a friend's apartment, and she sells it to the migrants at some of these hotels that they have in and around Midtown. Again, now she's being threatened. The cops told her, you don't have the proper licensing, all the stuff. You can't do this. But what are they supposed to do? What do you think this is inevitably going to lead to? Crime. And of course, the people, they come to the realization they're here. And again, they were told, Biden administration opened up the door for everybody, all these asylum seekers to come. And they're coming here, then what? Now what are they supposed to do? How are they supposed to feed themselves, fend for themselves? Stay at a hotel for a period of time. I don't know if you've had the opportunity. I have. There's been some unbelievable videos that have been taken inside some of these tent complexes that they put up here in Manhattan. I mean, it's a mess of enormous magnitude. But again, this is just horrible leadership. This is just, you're not thinking clearly. Again, you're seeing all of these people that are coming in. You only have so many places that you can put them. You can only house them for so long. What is going to happen? People are going to just starve to death? And the stories written about underground economies that are popping up now. And I get that. Again, like the lady, opening up her own little mobile restaurant, selling lunches to people. But again, this is a complete and utter failure of leadership. And again, the stories are coming out now about, again, Biden exploding with rage at his aides over the border crisis. Board is playing demanding obscure immigration data and erupting when they're not able to immediately produce it. Again, meeting on board Air Force One. This happened in late January. Biden went crazy over the issue and talked about the difficulty about making decisions on the border. They're also talking about Kamala Harris is supposed to be in charge of the border, but in reality, what is Kamala Harris doesn't make policy. Now she's in charge of the border. What, she's supposed to go there and do a couple photo ops? What, you think that she's going to have the capacity to organize this and handle this? So yeah, I would expect more incidents like this in places like New York, because again, it's catch and release. They actually, 15 years old, the migrant who shooting wildly and hit the Brazilian tourist in the leg. He's actually being held without bail at this point in time. But, we saw what happened. Before that, cops getting attacked, arrested, and let go. Say normally that'd be the case, is if they got arrested, they wouldn't, if they did something like that, they wouldn't want to be let go, because there would be, police justice would kind of handle them in some way, shape, matter, or form, and it wouldn't turn out well. But this is basically what's happening right now. They figured it out. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? So I'm going to get arrested, and they're going to let me go. And the other rings have been caught now, targeting elderly people, stealing their bags, trying to get their phones so they can get in and do all sorts of havoc with their banks. So this is what we're dealing with right now. And again, you want to tie this into illegal immigration and what's being pushed by the left now. We're being told that all of this illegal immigration is going to be a big boom to our economy. It's going to boost our GDP by $7 trillion, something to that nature. What's really interesting, though, because we're told by the Biden administration how wonderful these jobs numbers are, right? How great it is out there. Since October of 2019, native-born U.S. workers have lost 1.4 million jobs. 1.4 million jobs have been lost since 2019, native-born workers. Same period of time, foreign-born workers have gained 3 million jobs. All of the gains over the past year, since February of 2023 until now, have been part-time workers. Full-time jobs have gone backwards. Part-time work has skyrocketed. Again, there's a lot of these foreign workers, legal workers, they're delivering stuff. They're delivering food. I talked about it. You could see it in the city. It's like crazy. It's like weird. It's almost like Mad Max there with all of these e-bikes and people, and they're all fighting to get to these orders and deliver them. It's a mess. But again, this is just, people not understanding and thinking their desires through, thinking politically, not understanding the consequences of policy decisions and how they are going to ripple and, in essence, literally destroy areas of this country. Not to mention the fact, a lot of blame to be held. And I put this solely on the people of New York. You get the government you deserve. You continue to vote for these types of people. Well, what do you expect is going to happen? Expect the crime to be, targeted? Do you think the law to be enforced? No. Again, we got DAs like this that have no interest in doing any of that. WatchDog on WallStreet.com.